Hi, this is Attila16 and this is a video replay of Wargame European Escalation. Now this is a replay of 2v2, but the problem was that I actually lost the guy which I started with, so he just disconnected for I don't know what reason. It was a random player, so I ended up being alone against two. Fortunately, this game is really well done when it comes to replacing whoever you lost, so they just give you all the points the ally had, which is a very nice thing. But that doesn't change the fact that you end up defending against two opponents which have the mental time and space to focus on more area, while being alone you're much more divided and you need to pay attention to more stuff. So what I did here was actually to provide nearly a distraction to the enemy in Lima, and the reason for that is that I did not have the intention of dividing my attention much more than I already could be divided. So I just put some random infantry here which will defend Lima, but I had no intention of keeping it. Of course, the thing is that you can control different zones in this game, and each zone has a number, as you can see, and this number is actually the amount of points that the position will provide you if you hold it with the command vehicle. And what that means is that if, for example, I just keep Juliet, which is here, I will only have 1 point. Well, if I keep Lima, I will have 2 points. On the other hand, Juliet is a reinforcements area, so that's much more important to keep, but it gives you less points. While here you can see that Charlie and Kilo give you 4 points, so that's pretty good. But the thing is that you can play that game, or and you will win by attrition, assuming you have the maximum amount of point income. But since I was alone, I cannot divide my attention that much. So what I had to do here was to focus my attention, and that's why I ended up building up quite numerous vehicle army, and it wasn't particularly well deployed. But the purpose of what I did here was to quickly build an army before the enemy changed their mind on focusing on me. So you can see here the NATO army, which is moving to position. They had a pretty standard army, largely relied on missile, but my army was able to handle it. The thing is that I went for a strategy of having a lot of units, and a lot of cannon units in this case, because since I could not divide my attention that much, infantry will require too much attention, and the vehicles are pretty effective for what they are with their cannons. So I also had my favorite Kamaz truck, which are anti-air, really fast moving, as you can see, especially on a road. And here I had some infantry, which I deployed in the forest right here, probably for backup plan purpose. While here, I actually sent my vehicle off-road, which I'm not sure why I did that. I think that was likely a mistake, but doesn't matter. Now these are what are they? BMP 685. They don't have machine gun, but they have a cannon, and they are pretty cheap, so that's a fine unit. And they were helped with some recon UAZ, which you can see right here. And these UAZ actually have grenade launcher, which is very practical. And you can see here that the action has started. My Kamaz, which are my recon kinda, went into the enemy line, and they actually destroyed, or they were destroyed, but it's very cheap by the enemy. and the enemy decided to take a very defensive position. So let's see. I can see that the enemy has many ATGM units, which are missile units. It's very accurate, especially the NATO one. And you can see that it's actually killing many of my anti-air vehicle. On the other hand, it has a slow rate of fire, and replacing each missile is expensive. So that was a kind of a recon I did there, while my real army came here. And you can actually see the action beginning with the engagement of my BMP. And you can see that the enemy here had lots of Milan infantry firing on my BMP. And these are actually really effective. So the enemy really went for a strategy all about missile, but the missile have a slow rate of fire. And while they can destroy many of my tank, it's let's say more expensive to maintain the rate of fire, kind of, because you need to resupply them. But it's very effective against tank, for example. And here you also see a couple of Velarise and more tow missile. These are actually more numerous in terms of ammo. So I just went through the town here, ignoring totally whatever was there. And also, when your troops are moving, I think they are more difficult for the enemy to actually destroy. Speaking of enemy to destroy, here there was 2 Leopard tank which were isolated. I think the adversary were really going for a defensive long-term battle, but I just kind of rushed for it, as you can see, because I did not believe I could divide my attention once again. So I all went for the left side, and what that meant is that, for example, the battle is going on here, but here you have a lot of enemy troops, which are right there, that are unengaged. And while they're not engaged, that means that my troops have the number superiority. Alright, so I'm advancing with T64, which I use not because they are good, but mostly because they are fast, and having many of them make it very effective. You see how the 2 missile units there were disposed of quickly. While here, let's see, here I have some Zalo units. It's a bad choice to send against infantry, but the thing is that since my ally disconnected, he left me quite a bit of troops, and I was probably a little careless, which probably does show in this game. So I largely destroyed the left flank of the enemy, and now I'm regrouping my units here to then push on the right side, because now it's clear to me that they will likely reinforce the left side, because that's where my attention has been. And also I brought the command vehicle here, so that means that I'm actually controlling Bravo now, from where I can call reinforcements. And also I went for a kind of approach where I will not hold a different position, and I went with the mentality of chasing down the command vehicle. So my approach was all about mobility, and that's why you can see a few of my tank rolling and chasing isolated enemy units, because the enemy just spread out all around in defensive fashion. But the problem of this approach against my approach is that they cannot concentrate their firepower. And even though you have a few enemies in the wood there, I just don't care, because that's not my objective. The objective is not to destroy the enemy force. It's to chase down the enemy command vehicle. So, and the T64 is extremely effective at this. So I'm just moving toward the right flank now. because sure, you can see that there's still a lot of enemy troops on the left side, but what you need to consider is that I did not have that's what I saw. I saw that there was nothing over there. So I had a very narrow point of view of the enemy force. And this is why when you look at the replay, you see that there's troops all over the place. And they are even attacking at my position in the rear, right there. And I did not really do anything against that, and I did not even notice for the most part, because I was too busy controlling here. Now you can see that the enemy doesn't really know where I am either, because he's bombarding, but he's not really bombarding on the road. So it's not particularly an effective bombardment. While my tank don't really have a particularly good line of sight. Mostly moving against what I believe is artillery right there, which since he attacked me over there will be very likely unprotected, and I was right for the most part. I can see my tank rolling through town, and they just don't mind the enemy artillery. They're just chasing them down. And since these are AML, which are French mortar, they are not particularly good against tank. There's also a few Valorais, which are right there. These are affordable NATO tank used by the French. I like them. And you can see that it's pretty chaotic. They are kind of merged with my troops. And at the same time, you can see here that the enemy is bringing a few missile infantry. So these adversaries were really focused on missiles. And now you can see that they are starting to bring Cobra choppers. It's the first version, so it's pretty lightly equipped when you look at it. And I'm actually bringing some support choppers here. Some gunship. Now the enemy has a few anti-air spread around, but the thing is that yeah, they'll fire on my choppers. And I'll lose a few, but I had plenty of points to continue chasing down the enemy. And at the same time, the enemy anti-air are using missile once again, and these are difficult to replace. So you can see that the chaparral are shooting, and they did kill one of my unit, but they don't have anything to resupply. Actually, they do right here, but the enemy are so spread around, they don't know what's going on. I'm attacking them where they don't expect me, and that's why it's kind of confusing for them, and they don't really know what's going on. So and also the thing is that in this game, or any game, is that you need to remain unpredictable, and in this I really was unpredictable. You can see here that the enemy is engaging one of my anti-air, but their real goal is to destroy my command vehicle, and I believe they will manage to do so. It's probably because I was paying attention elsewhere, like here, where the enemy had a few Ural because they had some infantry in the wood. Or actually, it's probable that the enemy was busy elsewhere, because now I have a chopper flying by, and the enemy is about to die here, or he's panicked. So what's happening right now is that first of all, the enemy is kind of confused about where is the action, which is a good thing for me. At the same time, I don't have much troops. And Bravo is my only area of reinforcements. Here I finished up of some Cobra. So what I'm building here is what we could qualify a second wave of attack. and I will focus my attention on attacking Alpha. Because right here, my force are really weak. They are unable to do anything. But they're still chasing down the enemy command vehicle, which is a good thing. But at the same time, the situation is kind of confusing for them because I'm a little spread out around. They are really spread out around as well, but they don't know what I'll do. They don't know where I will attack. They don't know what's my plan, what I'm doing. And as you can see, I don't really know what they are doing either, because I don't see much of anything anywhere. And let's see what they see of me. They barely see any of my troops. They only see the stuff on the right side, so they only think I'm on the right side. And now you have one guy which is leaving because he probably gave up. He did not understood what was going on. And at the same time, when you look at it from their point of view, they had no idea how much troop I still have. And that was probably concerning for them. And when you look at it, they probably could have defeated me very easily. So let's speed this up. As you can see here, I'm building up forces. But since I don't have many supplies, I could not bring more. And now the last enemy probably decided to quit because his friend left. And I guess I win by default. I had a total victory against them. So that was a kind of a special round, as you might imagine. So I hope you enjoyed this interesting change from your usual Wargame European Escalation round. And I'll see you on the next one.